you realize the amount of power you have, Khanyi, because it actually means that there are certain things that are happening in your bloodline because you allowed them.
Yes.
There are certain things that are happening in your bloodline because your mouth is closed. You are not speaking a counter word. You are not reversing negative patterns that you're seeing. As a firstborn daughter, you don't have the luxury to be silent.
Yeah.
I don't know who you talk to.
So we don't know who we are.
We know who we are not.
Actually.
We know who we pretend to be.
Okay.
We know who we should be. But we know that Khanyi, the partner, the sister, the weight of everything I say that I am is too heavy to carry.
Yeah.
So the funny touching uncle in the church is a warlock that gets to see who you are spiritually. And they sync their spiritual energy with yours.
Yeah.
They start mimicking you. And then they take.
Yeah.
We've been speaking about spiritual authority. And I would like us to just, elevate a bit.
Take it a notch higher.
To say, as a firstborn daughter, you have the authority, you have spiritual authority.
Yeah.
But what's important for you is for you to know your ranking in spirit.
Fortunately, and this is the part where we raise each other, right?
Yeah.
We grow each other.
Yes.
Come on.
Most of the funny touching uncle women are firstborn daughters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You better say
There is nothing as oppressing
Yeah.
as a firstborn daughter because she has the gift to uplift. And Satan has changed her.
Yay.
We rebuke the spirit of Satan who's changing the firstborn daughter from uprising to oppressing.
Yeah.
Too dirty in this place. We are. God promised us where two or more are gathered in His name, He's there.
Yeah.
I'm saying we are rebuking the spirit of the firstborn daughters who have been turned to be the biggest weapon
Yes.
when she was born to be the biggest gift.
Ah.
That's what you are. That's what we are.
Thank you for that.
Thank you for that. Thank you, ladies, for joining me. This is such an important part, as important as the healing part, because we exist in the day. And we can say as much as we want that we are firstborn daughters that are trying to heal, but we're also firstborn daughters that are trying to live. We exist day to day. Circumstances happen to us, around us, because of how we are made up. And so when I called you to come to this panel, my main mission was to help us with how to rise. And the reason why we had a slideshow and a campaign for Voices of Legacy this week is because I wanted us to also remember how powerful we are.
Yeah.
So good.
And that we are part of something so big. The people, the women that have ran multiple dynasties and industries that are firstborn daughters are looking at us and they're shining and they're smiling. And that's what our healing is going to do. Our healing is not just going to be about us and our children. It's going to be societal.
Yep.
So thank you for joining me.
Yes. Good to be here.
So I'm going to start. We've got 4 parts that I want us to look at that a firstborn daughter needs to be aware of. I always say that we've got mantles that we carry.
Yes.
We've got the mantle of spiritual authority and deliverance. We've got the mantle of healing. We've got the mantle of wealth and leadership. And I would like us to walk away knowing how to steward these mantles correctly. And so I'm going to start with you, Pastor Mel, on the spiritual authority of a firstborn daughter
That's right.
and her mantle of deliverance,
Yeah.
right? And I want to just start here. What is the significance spiritually of a firstborn daughter? Did we just arrive here because it was fun for us to be here?
Absolutely
or was
not.
there a significant reason, a spiritual one, behind us?
So powerful.
Yeah.
Khanyi, thank you so much for the opportunity. And it's great to be here to speak to the collective. And well done for betting on yourself. Well done for making the investment to come in here, to learn the vocabulary, to explain some of the things that you go through, and also receive the tools that are necessary for you to actually march on forward, like Khanyi said, as a matriarch. As a spiritual, as a firstborn spiritually, your design is different from the rest of the people that are in the order of birth in your family. Spiritually, because I'm coming on the panel as a spiritual, from a spiritual background. When you actually look through scripture, you actually realize that firstborns, in many instances, they are called womb openers.
Yeah.
Right? And that is very significant in the spirit, because you open the womb of your parent. You are literally the primary sibling in the family. And spiritually, that's important because it actually means that you carry a mantle that contains the grace for a pioneer. Which means that you might not be aware of this, but there is a grace upon your life to pioneer things. You arrived here before everybody else. You opened your mother's womb, and there is a grace for pioneering. The firstborn, when we look through the Bible, is the only child that it was mandated that the firstborn had to be rededicated back to God.
Yeah.
Which means that you don't just belong to your parents. You don't just belong to your lineage. You don't just belong to your bloodline. You actually belong to God. And that's an advantage as you're navigating through life.
Yeah.
It is such a powerful advantage to know that you don't just belong to one bloodline, but you actually belong to a spiritual bloodline, which means you carry spiritual authority. You have a responsibility, and you actually have the power as a firstborn to speak some things into your lineage, to shut some things from your lineage. If you notice a negative a trait in your family, negative patterns in your family, you actually have the power and the authority as a firstborn to shut some things down. So don't sleep on your voice, because there is power in your birth order. And in scripture, the firstborn was the only person that all children are blessed, but the firstborn had another layer of blessing. They carried something called a birthright, which means that you are not just blessed. There is an additional layer of blessing that rests upon your life on account of the fact that you have to be the leader of the family. So God says, to protect the legacy of a family, I will make sure that this person not only carries the normal blessing, but they carry the birthright. And that's really, really powerful in the spirit.
Yeah, that's amazing. Now, Pastor Mel, you mentioned that God said firstborns are
That's
mine.
right.
And I think when he said that the enemy said, hold my beer.
Hold my beer. Hold my beer. Let me cook.
Let me show you something.
Let me cook. Let me cook. That's
Now,
right.
us in this room already know, we've gone through these things, and we know that the warfare really is real.
Yeah.
But what is the warfare on the head of a firstborn daughter?
So powerful. There is so much warfare on the head of a firstborn daughter. And I think I want to prefix this by saying, Khanyi, that it is already difficult being a firstborn.
Yeah.
It is another layer of difficulty being a firstborn daughter.
Yeah.
Because the world that we're living in was built for men. And it is only in these last few decades where we are trying to redesign models, redesign systems so that they can actually house, inhabit, and incorporate a woman. Yeah. So it's like you are fighting battles that are twice as big as you are. just because you're a woman and you're a firstborn. And some of the struggles of firstborn daughters you're going to notice is the struggle of direction. The enemy strategically will make sure that the firstborn daughter struggles with direction because he knows everybody is looking at you. You are the model and the example and the prototype of a generation and a lineage. And because he knows that many of your siblings that are coming after you, it is as though if you don't reach a certain ceiling and pass it, you become the ceiling. So you'll notice that as a firstborn daughter, there will be a time in your life where you will struggle with direction. You're not too sure where you're supposed to go. Am I supposed to be in corporate? Am I supposed to be in business?
Yeah.
Am I supposed to be married, or am I supposed to just chill and relax in the season? There will always be a warfare on direction. And one of the things that the enemy will use as a tool also is distraction. And especially for women, they come in pants.
Yeah.
The distractions come in pants. They come driving a certain kind of car you like in many instances. These distractions can even come in at work. Right? Because the enemy is hell-bent on making sure that you are delayed. If the enemy cannot detour you, he will delay you so that you arrive later than you should have. I'm tired. And there are seasons and times that govern the lives of people. There are spaces where when you enter and it is your season, there is ease. But the enemy wants to make sure that he frustrates you, so he makes sure that you are delayed. How are you delayed? You are distracted. How were you distracted? Because you weren't too sure of the direction where you were going. So it's so important as firstborn daughters to be able to discern when there is an enemy in your camp, and to discern strategically how you must navigate that warfare. And most importantly, to stand in your authority. We're having the big girl talk here, right?
Yeah.
There is power inside of you. Spiritually, you are postured and positioned for victory. Only if you embrace it and allow it to begin to function so in your life.
Yes. That's powerful. And we have wombs, and so we are gates. What do we do with this legal grounding that we have, that this authority that we have? Is there any sort of instrument we need to have in our hands to take up this spiritual authority?
Absolutely. Awareness. You have to be aware of who God has called you to be. And you have to stand in that power and refuse to give away turf to the enemy. I loved that word that you used, gates. When you actually read through scripture, gates were places where decisions were made.
Yeah.
Right? Gates were places where leaders would sit. The Bible, when it's actually describing the Proverbs 31 woman, it says that her husband sits at the gates, which means she is married to a man of authority, because it was only leaders that sat at the gates. So when we are saying that we are gates, it means things can be legislated through us. Where we are sitting is the place of authority. There can be legislations that can take place in the spirit through us. There can be decisions that can be made for a bloodline and a lineage through us. So when you recognize that you are a gate, you realize the amount of power you have, Khanyi, because it actually means that there are certain things that are happening in your bloodline because you allowed them.
Yes.
There are certain things that are happening in your bloodline because your mouth is closed. You are not speaking a counter word. You are not reversing negative patterns that you're seeing. As a firstborn daughter, you don't have the luxury to be silent.
Yeah.
I don't know who you talk to. I did not come here to tell people who they must talk to, but we talk to God. And I tell people every morning, we do daily morning prayers, and I tell people, you don't have the luxury to be silent with your mouth.
Yes.
As a firstborn daughter, you must speak. It's not about you going to church or being a prayer warrior. It's just about your spiritual authority in the spirit and your ability to see something and get an agitation in your spirit and say, it ends with us.
Yes.
The ability to just speak in the spirit, authority or decisions are voice activated. So it's not about you being a pastor. No. Your words carry a lot of weight in the spirit. So I don't know what background you're coming from, but I want to encourage you, refuse after you come out of this incredible, powerful event to be silent.
Yeah.
You don't have the luxury to be silent. Why? Because you're a gate.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's powerful. And speaking of silence and the words that one engages, what prayers are we praying?
Who?
Yeah. Back to sender.
Listen. Listen. Firstborns in general must carry a gift of discernment.
Sure.
Not just must, but they carry the gift of discernment. It's just an ability to pick up things and feel uncomfortable in your spirit about it.
Yeah.
Yes. Just like, why are we so poor in our family?
That part.
Why has no one been able to break this ceiling in our family? That discomfort must rest with you. And not only rest with you, you must be able to impart it even to your siblings. Have the kind of conversations that take you higher as a family. Why is it that no one has property and all of us are above 30?
You better
Why
preach
do we
it.
struggle, all of us, to get financing for cars? All of us. Why is there a struggle even for those that are ready and feel ready for marriage? Why is there a struggle to just have a healthy, loving relationship in our family?
Yeah.
Your responsibility is to discern a need, to disseminate it to your siblings, but most importantly, to begin to pray. And a prayer that I tell firstborns to pray, the first prayer is a prayer of repentance. You don't repent because you're the one that sinned.
Yeah.
There are some things that have taken place way before your time that are affecting you purely on account of the bloodline where you come from.
Yeah.
You came here and you found these things already established. So we don't repent because we are the ones that went out and we fiddled with some things. We repent on behalf of a generation. So one of the prayers I had to pray, because I came from a very, very strange lineage myself, was a prayer of repentance. Father, forgive us for sins known and unknown, for things touched before our times, for contracts and covenants that were enacted with our family name way before I came. Forgive me and forgive for those that are coming after me. A prayer for repentance. And the second prayer that you have to pray is a prayer for I call it a prayer of coming out of agreement. And purely coming out of agreement is to see something you don't like and say, I refuse.
Yeah.
I come out of agreement with this kind of behavior. I know they say we are, people in my family are angry, but I come out of agreement with it. I don't have to sit here and say, this is a family thing. So prayers don't have to be an hour long. They can just be a word that is spoken to counter a pre-existing word in the spirit. They can be so casual. I pray for my kids so casually, because at what point are you going to hold them and pray for them for an hour, right?
Yeah.
You are blessed and highly favored as he's going to school. You will not lack. You will be a head and not the tail. That took me 3 seconds, but I've just spoken a word over my firstborn as he's going to creche.
Yeah.
Right? So you have to pray prayers where you come out of agreement, but most importantly, you have to you pray prayers of tearing down and building up, which means every time you encounter something you don't like, you have the ability to tear it down and to declare and decree something you want it replaced with in that moment. So these are some of the prayers that I really believe that as our firstborn daughters, we need to just become aware of and busy ourselves praying on a daily basis at any point, at any time. Tear down, build up, and repentance.
Sure. That's powerful. I would like to take this one as I come to you, Coach Khanyi. I want us to, from a spiritual perspective, name the wounds, Pastor Mel, that a firstborn daughter, from a spiritual perspective, the wounds that a firstborn daughter is faced with.
The wound that I've noticed many firstborn daughters struggle with is a wound of comparison.
Sure.
And the comparison wound happens naturally just because you are a pioneer in your family. Just because you came before everybody else, you become the prototype and the example. So it doesn't matter whether people are comparing you on account of the fact that you did well or the fact that, you know, your start wasn't the best, it still gives a weight over your life. It then actually introduces something called a burden wound, which means that you are navigating around life carrying an overwhelming sense of burden because you feel the responsibility. You don't have the luxury to make mistakes. So you're carrying the weight of a lineage. Everybody is looking up to you, and sometimes you honestly don't know what you're also doing yourself. But you are carrying this burden wound. And a lot of times what ultimately happens is that because many firstborns have to take care of their siblings, take care of a lot of people, they then have delayed appreciation of their identity. Especially if you're actually coming from a family where maybe the mother dies earlier than usual, then you actually become parentified at a very young age. So now everybody else knows who they are, but you are carrying the wound of identity because now that your sister has finished university, now that there's no one else staying in your home, you're sitting with yourself and you're like, okay, I don't need to take care of anyone. All of my identity was connected to providing, connected to nurturing. Who am I? And I'll tell you this afternoon, there's probably people that are sitting here that don't know who they are, but they have helped everybody else recognize their own identities.
Yes. Thank you for that.
Amazing.
Because actually, give it up for her. The question I wanted to then bounce back at you, Coach Khanyi, is what I observed earlier in our session when you kept asking us who we are. And the answer was not coming. The answer was about who we are to other people, how we show up. And I wanted to ask you why that is. Why is it so difficult for us to identify ourselves as just us and not in relation to who we are to other people?
So good.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Wow.
Yeah.
I might just go to church again.
Now.
You want a soul, Pastor Val?
Hey, please come through.
I think we are conditioned to please.
Yeah.
And when you are conditioned to please, from such a young age, they tell you how to please.
You must. So good.
An example that I give is when I started growing boobs, my grandmother looked at me and said, "Nazi inkomo madoda." Oh, and that means the cows are going to come, right? The lobola is coming. And in your mindset, you go, okay, my identity, the script that's been written for me is that I'm going to grow up, I'm going to be a girl, I'm going to get married, I'm going to have a car, I'm going to have children. We are not taught how to be individuals. We're not taught how to be people who are not coloring outside the lines. There's this, and then we carry the shame when we try to, when we try to deviate, when we try to, there's something that a lot of us feel, but ignore that thing that says there's something else here. And we don't lean into what that something else is because of the performance of our personhood. When I looked at identity this morning, and there was a synonym for selfhood, right? And it is what is my own being? How do I define myself in my own terms? And a lot of us don't get to do that because we don't know how to. If you're a firstborn daughter, you are raised to be a perfectionist.
That's right.
You are raised to perform. You are raised to care for. You are adultified at a very young age.
Yeah.
And for you, all of those this is who you are. And then you come to a session with Coach Khanyi and says, that's performance. That is not who you are. Who are you really? Right? Yeah.
So we don't know who we are.
We know who we are not.
Actually.
We know who we pretend to be.
Okay.
We know who we should be. But we know that Khanyi, the partner, the sister, the weight of everything I say that I am is too heavy to carry.
Yeah.
for a lot of us. And so I think we don't know who we are because some of us, the bad of who we are can be too big to look at.
And we walk into relationships with that identity.
Yes.
Yes.
High space. What does that look like?
When you don't know who you are, you also don't know what you need.
Yeah.
So we walk into romantic relationships and we say, my needs are not being met. And then the question I ask you is, what are those needs?
I don't know.
And if you don't know who you are, you're not going to know what those needs are.
Yeah.
And so we were talking about this earlier, and I was saying that when we enter relationships, you have two broken people imagining that they're going to create a whole relationship.
Right.
And then you have two people bleeding on each other. You have a hurt person hurting another person and a hurt person hurting another person. Because when there's a term in the mental health space called a trauma bond.
Yeah.
What we usually think about a trauma bond is your mom died and my mom died, so we have a trauma bond. That's shared trauma. That's not a trauma bond. A trauma bond is when someone mirrors how you were loved as a child, how someone mirrors the relationship that your parents had with each other. You spoke about how people date their fathers. What you are falling in love with is that relationship between your parents. Even though your nervous system knows that that was not healthy, but if you don't do that work of healing those wounds that get picked at in every relationship that you enter into, you then enter a bond, a trauma bond, because you are mirroring what love feels to you, something that feels familiar, uncomfortable, but it's like, oh, well, at least I know it. That's why you say when love is calm and non-chaotic, you're bored.
Yeah. And they say better the devil you know than the angel you don't know.
Better than no devil.
Yeah. How's about no devil at all?
No devil at all.
Tell me, why is it that we dream about boundaries, we desire boundaries, we sing about boundaries, we threaten boundaries,
We're cut off.
but we never really get to? Why?
Sure.
Boundaries. Who's a people pleaser in this room?
We did this in the
Let's say
morning.
we're recovering. From today onwards, we're going to say we're recovering.
Remember we said in the morning,
Okay?
our coping mechanism is people
People-pleasing behavior, okay?
We are not people pleasers.
Amen.
It's our mechanism. I'm not even convincing myself. It's fine.
I see what you would. Yeah, I get you. And who has ever tried to set a boundary and then felt very, very guilty after trying to set that boundary?
All the time.
Yeah.
Immediately. Immediately.
Boundaries are hard because they ask you to do a few things. The first thing is they ask you to use your mouth. Okay? They ask you to use your voice. They ask you to communicate. Some of us would rather just keep the silence so that we can keep the peace. And I always say you keep the peace, but you are at war with yourself because you are uncomfortable. That's the first thing boundaries ask us to do. The second thing boundaries ask us to do is they ask us to look at our relationships. I can't just come to Khanyi and set a boundary. We have no relationship.
Yeah.
I have to set a relationship with my mother. I have to set a boundary with my dad. I have to set a boundary with my siblings. And those are people that know a version of me that I'm trying to be different from. But I am so scared of losing those relationships that I would rather not set the boundaries.
Yeah. Come on. So good.
Number 3, boundaries threaten connection. Boundaries threaten connection. If I go to my partner and I say, I really don't like this, the fear that I have is if I communicate that, they might leave.
Yeah.
So the threat there is I'm going to be alone. and we have a big fear of being alone. Some of us, come on, church, are in such toxic relationships. And we are staying in those toxic relationships because we're too scared of being alone.
Yeah.
But I want you to investigate when you go home and realize how actually lonely you are.
Yes.
There's a physical presence, and that's all you have.
Come on.
And then the last thing with boundaries is you are going to have to really see that boundaries are about you. It's what I want, what I need. And when we start living our lives in those terms, then we get called selfish.
Yeah.
Then we call self-centered.
Sure.
Then we get called all these things that we've been running away from being called.
Come on.
That's why we self-abandon, right? That's why we betray ourselves, because no one wants to be called selfish. I want to teach you a new word today, and the word is self-full. I'm not selfish, I'm self-full.
Yeah.
And when I get to a place in my life that I connect, I always say, let's connect it to radical self-love. If I love myself deeply, truly, I will also not be in relationships that ask me to leave myself behind.
Sure.
So good.
Radical self-love. What does that look like? To radically love yourself.
Yeah.
There's a song that kept playing today, and there were words that were saying, love yourself completely. Not half, not completely. And that's what I'm hearing you say when you say radical self-love. But how do you do that?
I think that to love yourself radically is one of the most difficult things you will have to do in your life, because it's going to be a mission that's about you. And as a firstborn daughter, you are taught that you don't matter. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So to love yourself in those ways, you're going to have to go against everything that you're taught. But to answer your question, radical self-love is to say, I love myself, I love the good, the bad, and the in-between.
Yeah.
Some of us, we have these things in our lives that we want to change. And a lot of the times, the change doesn't happen because we loathe ourselves into changing. And then we introduce shame, we introduce guilt, we introduce punishment. But what I did for myself, and it was one of the most freeing experiences of my life, was to say, I'm going to love the people pleaser.
Yeah.
Because there was a time where people pleasing was necessary. It kept me safe in a very unsafe environment.
Yeah.
It made me feel seen at times.
Yeah.
It made me feel validated at times. And so instead of saying, oh, I hate that people pleaser, I'm going to say, Khanyi, I love that people pleaser, but I don't need it anymore. I'm at a point in my life now where
Sure.
you are safe.
Yes.
I'm at a point now where it doesn't serve me.
That's right.
I want to show up in my relationships authentically. And so if I am showing up in relationships authentically and I'm a people pleaser, I can't. I'm going to meet Tshidi and say, who do I need to be for Tshidi to like me?
Ish.
And a lot of the times I get it wrong. Yeah, because I don't know. But if I say, I'm going to remove people pleasing as an experience, I'm going to remove it as a coping mechanism, because it's one I don't need anymore. I've got me now.
So good.
Right? I've got me now. And so I don't need that to be something that I use to survive life. So radical self-love is to say, I'm going to love all of it, even especially the things I want to change.
Wow. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. So good.
Powerful. So, I guess what you're also saying is there are things that you adapt to protect yourself, to cope in an environment, and you need to be privy of to say, I needed this to survive that environment. I'm no longer in this environment, and therefore that coping mechanism can go.
I don't need it.
I don't need it anymore.
No.
And I think it's powerful because earlier we were doing the system stuff, and your fear, your control, your abandonment were showing up. And control was saying, oh, but you've needed me. And I've helped you throughout what you needed. Your 9-year-old needed me to control the situation. Ego and pride were saying, oh, I've helped you. You needed me to fight against the bully. But there's no bully now.
Yeah.
You are safe.
You're safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody say you are safe.
You're safe.
You're safe.
You're safe.
I think
Safe.
even if it's minimally every day in the morning, if one can just look at themselves in the mirror and say, you are safe.
You're safe. You know, even with saying no, right? A lot of us learned from a very young age that our no would be punished.
That's right.
Oh, yes.
You say no, go do it anyway. Go hug that creepy looking uncle anyway. You know, go do those things that feel uncomfortable to you anyway. So as you grow up, your nervous system doesn't go, oh, well, now I'm 41 years old. I can say no and no one's going to punish me. I have to teach myself that I can say no and not be afraid of punishment.
So good.
Sure.
Yeah.
You touched on something that many of us don't touch on. It lives with us from childhood. Some of us go with it to the grave. And that is the funny touching uncles.
Ish.
Yeah. Come on.
That's another session.
Who's been touched?
I'm gonna come to you. I'm gonna come to you, Tshidi. Most of us grew up in homes where they were not paying attention, and the funny touching uncles were there
And
in our midst.
they were diligent.
And even as we grow in our adulthood, in business, in corporate,
Funny touching uncles.
the funny touching uncles seem to appear. Sure. And more so recently, they are now coming out even in the church.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. I should agree.
The funny touching uncles who say to us, I've got the solution. I've got the anointing. I know what you need. And they touch us wrongly.
Incorrect.
I want to tie it to you, Tshidi, because I know that you have had to search with an inheritance and a knowledge of spirituality, the way you know it from your grandparents and your mother. And as you grew, you decided that, no, man, I want to find this God thing for myself. I want to understand it and pick it for myself, which is something that most of us firstborn daughters get to do at some point, where you start to search, this God of my mother, is he the one? I want to find out for myself. And most times that's where we find the funny touching uncles with the solutions. How does one navigate seeking spiritually, responsibly?
So good.
I want to start by saying you have to understand the funny touching uncle dynamic.
Whoa. Kuna dynamic.
You have to understand who the funny touching uncle is, because as you said, we come across them in the corporate space, we come across them in the relationship space, even in our churches.
Yeah.
Earlier on, I spoke about warlocks. I spoke about narcissists as well. I want you to understand that those two people only gets regulated by the womb.
Okay.
They get regulated by the womb, and that is why they will want to enter each and every womb that is available.
Yep. Yo. Ooh.
So the funny touching uncle in the church is a warlock that gets to see who you are spiritually. And they sync their spiritual energy with yours.
Yeah.
They start mimicking you. And then they take.
Yeah.
We've been speaking about spiritual authority. And I would like us to just, elevate a bit.
Take it a notch higher.
To say, as a firstborn daughter, you have the authority, you have spiritual authority.
Yeah.
But what's important for you is for you to know your ranking in spirit.
All right.
You can have the authority and only to find that you are operating in a rank that you should not be operating at.
Yes.
Or come through with playing small.
Now, that is where now you start meeting with these funny touching uncles. And you know what they do? They hijack your timeline.
They harvest.
They hijack your timeline. Because instead of you operating at a certain rank, you just know that you have the authority, but you are ranking low. And that's where you meet them and they hijack you. Now you become a battery instead of a lover.
Yo.
Sure. Okay.
And because as a firstborn daughter, you are not taught how to be, you are taught how to do. Then what happens in that space is that as you keep doing, now you are a battery, you must do. And that's all you know. You know how to do. You know intensity instead of love. You misinterpret intensity for love. And that's where the toxicity comes in. That is where, in your spiritual path, make sure that you rank at the right ranking level. It is not enough to say, I'm in the journey. It is not enough to say that, I'm in my journey of spirituality when you are not holding position and rank.
Does the womb have anything to do with this?
Definitely. Yeah. The womb has got everything to do with this. You see, the way God speaks or approaches women or operates with women is different from the way he does with men.
Sure.
When David sinned, God said, I'm going to close the womb of your household.
Come on.
Right?
Sure.
When Mary and Elizabeth met, you know what? They didn't check each other's eyebrows. They didn't check each other's shoes.
Yeah.
They connected through the womb.
Sure.
There are words and things that they spoke into each other that activated each one's pregnancy. So the womb has got everything to do with this. That is why womb healing is important. And womb healing should be done in spaces like this, where there is women, where a space of women, where we are going to speak into each other's wombs. Instead of being in spaces saying they are going to speak miscarriage of what you are carrying. Spaces that are going to undermine you as a woman. Spaces where we allow warlocks to come up the pulpit and speak into us.
Yeah.
I just want to say that, I'm on a TV show where we talk about this all the time.
Yeah.
Where we talk about men who are taking advantage, womb takers. They are everywhere. The thing about a warlock is that they think they are you. They have a replacement spirit.
Okay.
You work with them.
Yeah.
They take your energy. They have a replacement spirit. They're always looking and saying, the day this one goes, I'm there. I'm the one. Replacement spirit. There are women who get married to warlocks. And they do not even have the capacity to audit. To say, who is this man I am with? Or who is this business partner I am with? Why? Because most women are groomed into loving marriage so much that you get married to the institution, not the person.
Not the person.
Men leave marriages. They leave the institution. But women will remain because you love the institution so much.
Yeah.
And then you are drained. You look ashy. Your womb is always in pain. Your money is gone.
Yeah.
Ask yourself, how did this tipa enter the marriage? Yeah.
And how did it turn around and I'm holding the other side?
Yes. But how did that knife enter in the first place?
Yeah.
Where were you when this knife entered?
Sure.
Yo.
Why am I triggered?
Hey.
You know, there's this famous saying that firstborn daughters are masculine.
Sure.
And it's a famous saying that is true. Right?
Yes.
If we got someone to come in here and test testosterone levels,
We are men.
it will be hectic. And part of, I guess, the masculine positioning that we had to take was because we were the son that our fathers never had, and the 10 sons that he never saw. And we've had to be strong and just train that muscle of masculinity. But Mgogo, we are tired. We want our femininity.
Come on. So good.
We want, and a shame, I'm saying we want it because Dalasi Kangela.
Yeah.
It's not showing up anyway.
Yes.
How does one get into a journey of dragging that feminine, masculine, feminine energy back into themselves?
Okay. I think we have to first describe or to break down what femininity is.
Okay.
Yes,
Because we think femininity is just being soft
And cute.
and just resting.
And to us, the rumor, Shem, we don't know how to do that.
We think that is femininity.
Yeah.
But femininity is a polarity within each and every one of us. When I say each and every one of us, I am even talking about this, my son who is taking pictures here.
Yeah.
I am talking about anything and everything. The flowers, the trees, everything they got femininity, right? They also have the masculine polarity. We also have the masculine polarity.
Yeah.
But because in spaces of manipulation, then you have to always pull in your masculinity. We live in a world, what Pastor here said, the world is programmed to be a man's world, right? And in this man's world, then you are called, your masculinity has to come out.
Yeah.
But now there is this polarity that is your feminine self, which is your being, which is you honoring your feelings, your emotions, and all the ramblings of your soul.
Yes.
Okay.
And then there is this side or this polarity that we call masculinity, which becomes a container so that the rumblings, the emotions, the ideas and everything are able to then be put forward.
Okay.
So just to bring it to simplicity, I want to say you heal your femininity by honoring your emotions. You heal you heal your femininity by honoring your feelings. You heal your femininity by honoring even your creativity and the ideas that comes. I want you to understand that when God answers your prayers through ideas. Right? He plants the ideas into the feminine space, into the womb. And because you were brought up to think that your creativity, the ideas that you have, and maybe even in the relationship that you have, when you say, you know what, I think I want to have an event where I'm going to call women and they will be, they will fill the room and we'll do healing stuff. Your man says, that thing, how you going to make that thing? You're going to come. You are not even qualified as a psychologist. Who's going to come to you? Then you think, let me drop it, right? Right there by dropping that they're doing. They're doing something.
Instead of
all right? And now that is when you're operating in even your broken masculinity. Because you are not erecting in your masculinity, you are not, flowing in your femininity. You are just lost.
Broken
Now,
masculinity.
yes, there is broken masculinity. Somebody said, I do, I give even when I don't have. That's very broken masculinity. So I give, even when I don't have, I do. Even when they ask me to do something and I can't do it, but I do it anyway. That is the broken. That is the broken. You see, the toxic masculinity that women talk about.
Yeah.
And they say, that man is a toxic masculinity. Check yourself.
Yeah.
Sure.
Check yourself.
Okay.
Check the toxicity of your masculinity.
Come on.
Check where you are manipulative.
Is masculinity necessary for us?
It is very necessary. Masculinity is a container.
Okay.
Masculinity is a container. Let me give you an example of what everyday masculinity looks like. One, keeping time. Keeping time. Women like saying things like, I'm fashionably late. No, you're not operating in a correct and crystallized container for you to see your dreams come to pass. So you're always late.
Okay.
I get it, we said we are healing each other.
Yeah.
You are always late.
Listen.
You don't keep your word. You say, I'm going to do, you don't do. Right? So masculinity is important. Masculinity also speaks of boundaries. Boundaries are not walls. They are doors and gates. You tell people where to enter and when to enter.
Sure.
Yeah.
Boundaries are not, walls where you are just going to isolate yourself and say, I blocked them. I blocked them. I don't block anyone. I just tell people, don't call me.
Yeah.
Especially at this time.
I'll call you.
Because that door is still open.
You don't block.
Yeah. Don't go.
Don't call me. Do not call me.
Speaking of entering, there are many other enterings. And I want us to go to this one. We seem to have a strange relationship with our sexuality versus our sensuality.
Yes.
What's the difference?
Okay. So sensuality speaks of your senses. It speaks of your touch.
Okay.
It speaks of your smell, your taste. That is sensuality. Sexuality is how your soul wants to express itself in the bedroom.
Okay.
But then you cannot do those two if you haven't awakened spirituality.
Oh, okay.
If you haven't awakened spiritually, you cannot then dive into things that are so highly spiritual
Yes.
when you are spiritually flat.
Empty.
There are women who are not even supposed to be having sex right now.
Okay.
Until Balung says, "Tabayabo."
No dress. Nezwala.
What are you doing in such a highly charged, spiritually charged environment when you're spiritually flat? You're bringing what?
Yourself.
You are bringing what? Your inner child? What are you bringing in the bedroom?
You're
What are you bringing? You're bringing a 6-year-old.
Sure.
You're bringing your 6-year-old to a generational wizard. A generational. You are bringing your 6-year-old.
Yeah.
So these three things, every woman has to activate. You cannot do one and not do the other.
Okay.
But the number one of them all is your spirituality.
Yeah.
When you are in touch and connected, you will not find yourself just, just opening up your legs to anyone. You will not find yourself opening up your legs because your vagina is calling you to.
Sure.
Yeah.
Deep.
Can I say vagina here?
Yeah.
It's a body part. This is an eldest style table.
They want it.
Okay.
They own them.
I wonder then, because we know that we should steward our booms. We know this. But I want to go back to this thing, man. You see Jabu. Jabu has all the qualities you should not be engaging in a man.
But there you are.
Claro, you see. Ne? But there's something about Jabu.
Exciting. It is exciting.
Just
Not something about Jabu.
trust you.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Is there a possibility that
Jabu is so
sometimes
odd,
our
it feels
wombs are
right.
the ones that call men, that get attracted to just warlocks? What you're talking about? Yeah.
Of course. Of course.
Smelling blood.
That pull to Jabu.
Yeah.
Oh, Jabu, I'm so attracted to you. It's actually an ancestral pull.
Sure.
Say it again. It's an ancestral pull.
Sure. Okay.
And that is why I said we need to do work,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Jabu represents something that your womb knows.
Yeah.
Jabu is actually your womb choice,
Not sure.
not yours.
Yeah.
He is actually opening up your mothers and your grandmothers and everything.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, sex with Jabu is gonna be on fire.
They know.
You're gonna be pregnant within the first 3 months. And Jabu is gonna leave you. With the baby.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Once a relationship starts with so much heat,
Yeah.
I always tell women, once you feel that you are that attracted to him,
By
that even when you're standing, you just want him,
Sure.
There's a spirituality.
turn down the plate, fast and go pray.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
Fast and go pray.
Yeah.
Ask God to wash it off because you are meeting at lower realms.
Sure.
And in the lower realms, as you meet there, I want you to know that it's such a wound attraction. It's a trauma attraction. It's blood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go boil, man.
Yes. The relationships that you want to engage in are relationships where there is heart connection, where there is connection of the crown, where there is connection of the soul,
Yeah.
not a connection of the wounded self,
Yeah.
a connection of history. Because how you were loved as a child is how you make love, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Give her a round of applause. So I go with Jabu. Akir, elaborate. How to elaborate?
But elaborate. How
Yeah.
you make how you were loved as a child is how you make love.
Oh, yes.
Maybe let's start here. There are women who are attracted to narcissists, right? And there are others who attract or choose warlocks. Those two people are different. The narcissist is coming for the inner child. The narcissist is coming for how you were brought up.
Okay.
They start speaking into those wounds. They start speaking into those things that you wanted to have as a child, right? They speak into those things, and you think, oh my God,
This is not-
this is the one.
Is the one.
This is the one. On the other hand, one might be one who attracts warlocks and wizards. That one is a one who is so highly spiritually gifted. Because you must understand something about a warlock. A warlock is a man who has failed his initiations. A warlock is a man who comes probably from a womb that operated with disobedience to the calling of God.
Yo.
Okay. I'll go deeper. Ngenelela.
So, because we usually say that men are not, they don't have intuition, they're not intuitive. Men are intuitive.
Very.
Men are spiritual because they learn that intelligence in their mother's wombs. So a man who is birthed by a womb that operated in disobedience, that man learns disobedience. That thing is coded in them,
Yo.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But the day they meet you in your high spiritual authority, as you say, and you don't have a ranking, they think, yeah, that's her.
Okay.
But then what they're going to do is that they are going to snatch and take all that energy so that they build themselves. And they do that while they're not even aware that you and him are different people.
Yeah.
Because remember that he was one with the mother, with the rebellious mother. That's the word I was looking for.
Rebellious mother.
A mother who is rebellious to their gifts, a mother who is disobedient to their gift and their path.
Yeah.
They just know that I am one with my mother.
Yeah.
Now, when they meet you, they think I'm one with her.
Because they're one with their mother.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're able to see where you say, oh no, but you know, this thing is so big. Maybe I can't. I'm not the one who is supposed to do it. They say, you are the one who's supposed to do it.
Yeah.
They see when you say, oh no, you know, I have a burden of God. And this burden of God, really, it's just, they say, no, don't worry. I'm there for you. I will, don't worry.
Worry.
But then,
You must worry.
replacement spirit is there.
Yeah.
They start telling you, I made you.
All of a sudden.
I made you. I want to talk
Been trying to keep a
gifted
straight face.
women here. I want to talk to gifted women here.
Yeah.
And I want to say to you, when you read the Bible, do you know that Aaron was not in the original plan of God?
Okay.
He wasn't. When Moses started saying, no, I can't speak, I can't do this, I can't. The Bible says God, it angered God. But then God called Aaron. He says, okay, your cousin is there, he's coming. There are people in your life that are actually your Aarons, right?
Yeah.
They are there as your Aarons, but maybe they were not even in the original plan of God for your life. It is important for firstborn daughters, especially the ones who are supposed to be at a certain rank, spiritual rank, because all of us, we have authority. But I want to talk about those ones who are supposed to be at a certain rank, to say it is important to become a veiled woman. A veiled woman is a woman who presses into the chambers of God.
Yeah.
She presses into the chambers of God. She doesn't sit at the gate.
Yeah.
She goes in. She presses in.
And that's the woman that the warlock is after.
Yes. Sure.
Yo. Hi.
Shandukanda.
Yo. Go hectic. Go hectic.
You sit with women in your office
Crying.
who have come across warlocks of all sorts. And you help them to put safety measures. Sometimes you help them to handle the aftermath of what she's talking about.
The results.
The results. Why is it important for a womb carrier to do her estate planning correctly? Yanyuka manje.
I'm telling you, I wanna take this moment, and if I need to, I'll ask you to ask me that question again.
Okay.
Because while I'm sitting here listening to God's daughters here, kukhona this thing God is telling me to keep. Just say it.
Yeah.
Say it before you start educating.
Yeah.
It is this systematically in the world. It is designed and historically planned and engineered that a white man is supposed to be at the top of the hierarchy.
Yeah.
Below a white man are all other men from all other races.
Yeah.
And below that, those men from other races is a white woman. And underneath a white woman is our black man. We're city other races, we're not even including our black man.
Yes.
And underneath those black men is everything else ancillary. And after everything ancillary is the black woman at the bottom.
Yeah.
And while we are sitting as foundations of these structures that have been designed to oppress us, the firstborn daughter is given the gift that surpasses the white man.
Ah,
But she's sitting there.
come on. Come
So
on.
if you understand that hierarchy, you understand how
Repeat
much
that
we are
again.
oppressed.
I beg you, repeat that again.
Ranking.
Please repeat that again.
Yes, I'm going to repeat it. I'm saying in this universe, in this global world we are living in,
Yeah.
from centuries, a lot of trillions of monies and a lot of blood has been shed to make sure that we all understand people like Trump
Yeah.
and Hitler
Yeah.
are the best.
Yeah.
And under them are all other men.
Yeah.
Your Indian men, your mixed race men.
We are at the bottom.
And after that,
the barrel.
at that hierarchy, all of that builds is the black woman generally,
Yeah.
whether she's a firstborn daughter
Yeah.
or not.
Yeah.
I'm saying the firstborn daughter has been grouped at foundation level when she's been given the spiritual gift and power that surpasses the one who has put himself at the top,
At the top.
which is the white man.
Sure.
So if you understand that, then you holistically understand how oppressed you are. If you don't understand how oppressed you are, you're going to live and operate at oppression level. And you're going to think you're thriving.
Exactly where they want you.
Yes, and you're going to think you're thriving. And lastly, to this point that God wanted me to share, the funny touching uncles can be women.
Yeah.
It is women. The funny touching uncles are women. And unfortunately, and this is the part where we raise each other, right?
Yeah.
We grow each other.
Yeah, come on.
Most of the funny touching uncle women are firstborn daughters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You better say
There is nothing as oppressing
Yeah.
as a firstborn daughter because she has the gift to uplift. And Satan has changed her.
Yay.
We rebuke the spirit of Satan who's changing the firstborn daughter from uprising to oppressing.
Yeah.
Too dirty in this place. We are. God promised us where two or more are gathered in his name, he's there.
Yeah.
I'm saying we are rebuking the spirit of the firstborn daughters who have been turned to be the biggest weapon
Yes.
when she was born to be the biggest gift.
Ah.
That's what you are. That's what we are.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that.
Right. If you are a woman and you have a womb, you must have a trust. Your trust must have a house. It must have 100,000 Rand investment account in it. And there must be a vehicle that does not belong to an asset finance institution.
Sure.
And once you have finished building this minimum requirement,
Yeah.
you are then able to start breathing and walking. If you don't have it, you're already operating at a deficit. You are at minus.
Yeah. Yeah.
You need this trust because a trust is a legal entity that takes ownership away from you.
Yeah.
And it's when I'm a warlock deal. They wanna pay lobola. The warlocks wanna pay lobola so that they can be made incommutal property to you, so that they can take from you what was designed for you.
Yeah. Sure.
So if you are a woman, you have a womb, you must have a trust. A womb and a trust Isibeletho ne-trust.
Trust.
That's it.
If you got a womb, you gotta hit that trust. Because there ain't nobody you can trust. That's powerful. And I mean, we have seen it. What you are saying now about the authority we have, and consequentially, what we then use the authority to do with our siblings, with other people. I always talk about this, is that one of my passions about us as Omafungwash is around the fact that we were created in homes to be intercessors, to carry certain mantles.
Yes.
And it is not by accident, like you were saying, that we find homes where Burakhadi are the worst people. And the reason why, by the way, we even do what we do here, the reason why we are even here as a panel, if it got over your head, know this, we are building a Rakhadi on this panel.
Yeah.
Actually, we had the young girl cry. We danced with the 6-year-old. Here we're building a Rakhadi.
Yeah.
And we're building a Rakhadi that heals. We're building a Rakhadi that understands her authority. We're also building a Rakhadi that's not going to bother other people's children.
Yeah.
By virtue of being
Yo.
a Rakhadi.
Yes, Rakhadis.
Akere bo Rakhadi.
Yes.
Bo tato bao.
Yeah, Davao.
Yeah. Did I say it correctly? Nolitha?
Yes,
Yona ke-
girl.
So
Perfect.
I hope we can go beyond just our own personal healing and understand that the office we are in requires us to operate at a higher level.
Yeah.
You revealed to us that our rank is above a white man,
Way above.
meaning our wealth mental
Way above.
is heavier.
Yeah.
Our authority mental is heavier. Now comes Jabu.
Hey, Jabu, Nkosi,
Akere who is calling Jabu?
we have said Jabu.
And Jabu comes with the lobola, and now we're in matrimony because somehow we think we've got the Monday and we don't.
Yeah.
When Jabu's uncle knocks at the gate, Abia 100 rand,
You are married.
we think we've got Monday.
Yeah. There's no Monday. It's
And there's
late.
no Monday.
Slates.
What do we do there?
Sure. Hey, Jabu, yena.
And look, Jabu is there. And up until a time where we have mastered all of this,
Jabu will be there.
Jabu is always going to be there.
Let me tell you about Jabu. I saw a video on TikTok. Sorry, the fly was bugging me. I saw a video on TikTok and it made me so sad. I literally get so sad on social media. I start praying. That's why I try and minimize myself on social media, even though I was so pleasantly surprised to find so many people who follow me. I think it's the first event I have met so many people who follow me on social media.
Yeah.
That is good.
Yeah,
Because
you're doing great work. You're doing great work. Yeah.
Let me tell you what I saw in about Jabu. Jabu beat his woman while they were dating.
Yeah.
He cheated. He treated her like she's small. He manipulated her into believing she's smaller than what she is. He borrowed from the white man's system, from what they did to him.
Yeah.
And then he passed it down to the woman because that's the only thing that's below him.
Yeah.
When he finished doing that, I'm almost done with this woman. She's almost finished. She's either going to leave or she's going to become something else. Jabu chose to propose when she was tired. And then you know what? After Jabu got on his knee or not and proposed, the other Rakhad who's been going through it started ululating before I even said yes. She started immediately setting off the expectation that I must accept this engagement. If I don't, I'm going to disappoint everyone in this room.
Sounds familiar?
And she went in, Usisi, into the marriage. Azange kuphela inyanga, Jabu killed her. He beat her up and she died. She knew. She knew when she wasn't saying yes, when that ululation pushed her to say yes to her death. That's where they push us, Abo Rakhadi, and their expectations of us following in line so that they're not the only ones.
Sure.
Jabu is the benefits of a broken firstborn daughter. Is one of the biggest beneficiaries of it. Now, when he's finished to Jabu to lobola me, when he's finished to propose, rather, he then sends this letter to my family. The Recognition of Customary Marriages Act simply states there are 3 requirements you must meet in order for you to be married in committal property to a man who's coming for your estate. You need to be over the age of 18.
Yeah.
You need to have consented to being married customarily. How do you consent? By way of interpretation, court interpretation currently. When Jabu and his family write the letter and deliver it to my family, Jabu has consented. When my family reads when they read the letter and say Jabu's family must come,
Consent.
they have consented on my behalf. I have consented. And when, to be fair, we do say, yes, yeah, I need because your fire is burning for Jabu. Let him come, you say.
Yeah.
Then, so we can't blame the family, we blame us. We are the ones
you
who
consented.
consent.
That's why they ask you, do you know these people?
Yes, do you know them? The last requirement is where we are getting dribbled, and it is where Jabu benefits the most. Where we negotiate and celebrate. We are thinking our celebration is last as Tungisekon. The courts and the law is saying, actually, when you take out that food on the first day, when Jabu's family came to leave 1 cow,
Guys.
to show that Jabu has power,
Guys.
to get you. When his family walks out the door, you and Jabu are married in committal property. And so many Jabus are going after nurses, teachers, government managers, executive women.
Yeah.
Because they have not been able to build an estate, and all of a sudden the only way they can build an estate is through your hard work. And Vele, you deserve to give him your estate. I can tell a woman when ufuna umshado.
Yes.
Let's estate ngizokunika umshado. Says Jabu.
Estate for umshad. Yeah.
Yeah. So you are now married in communal property, and then you know what he does. He leaves you. This makes me so mad. And when I talk about it on social medias, men swear at me.
Yeah.
Yes, what am I doing?
I've seen them. I've seen them swear at you.
Like,
I've seen them actually.
There's another swear. And I say, as soon as they finish paying lobola for these nurses and these teachers and these high school principals, they leave you with those presents, your wedding presents. You train
You got
to
it.
marry. He's going to his girlfriend, the one he loves. And you know what you can't do? You can't divorce him because half your pension is gone. Akekho umuntu odinga ukwenza estate planning like a firstborn daughter because she's the first one who worked. She has the oldest pension. So she's the biggest target.
Yeah. And Jabu is not the only person that targets the firstborn daughter. There is a new law, recent one, bias the siblings. Their siblings are now able to claim maintenance from us.
Wow.
La toitoya. La protesta. Hey. It was not a question, right? It's a law. It's not a question.
Yeah.
Let me clarify it for you. The law now says, and you will tell me if this is correct,
Yeah.
that my siblings that come after me or above me, no one comes above me,
Yeah.
can come and say, Khanyisa works,
Yeah.
Mina I don't.
Yeah.
And therefore, I'm entitled to Khanyisa taking care of me.
Wow. That's wild.
Who writes
Let me
these
tell you
laws?
something.
Is this
Who
statement
decided
true?
on that?
Yeah. When have you ever lied?
When do I lie?
Yeah. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something now. At this point, you shouldn't even be shocked anymore. You shouldn't be shocked anymore. I mean, of course, I'm a legal practitioner, I'm an attorney. There's only so much I can say about law.
Yeah.
But
Wink, wink.
I want to tell you something. You guys have already been paying maintenance for your siblings. So why are you worried about the courts? You're doing it free without a court order. You do it on a daily basis.
Yeah.
You're gonna do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
From a habitual perspective. And then you're gonna remember, wait a minute, I was here at Gonje today. I'm just gonna take that drumstick from you, my sister.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm hoping. But I want to let you guys know that this claiming maintenance from your sibling, this court order that came out recently that I was on newsroom on before lunchtime, where the stepfather or the step-parent can now be sued for maintenance. All of these things, you already doing them. They all rely on one word and one word only, dependency. You make people depend on you. You guys make people depend on you. And there's a cost to dependency. It's called Section 37C of the Pension Fund Act. Your siblings and their children are so used to being taken care of by you that when you die and you have a 5 million rand pension for your kids, the kids you were neglecting to take care of them, they go and they apply first. And your children, they're so young. They tell them, indaba zabantu abadala lezi. Sayingane lokhu.
Yeah.
And then they take the inheritance from your children. So
Like
you
they
shouldn't
took
even
the
be
book
shocked
from you.
that your siblings can go to court and take maintenance from you while you're alive, because they definitely go for that maintenance when you are dead and you gave them that link. And that link is called dependency. And you as a firstborn daughter and your wounds that you have had to heal today, you are a chronic dependency provider. You create dependency like it's nothing. You can't live unless you have someone depending on you.
Do you guys see what's going on here? Do you guys see what's going on?
Yeah.
Hey,
We were talking earlier
I know.
about the fixer, the rescuer, the people pleaser. That stuff, that internal stuff, is what creates the dependency. And so we can toy about the law
All we want.
all we want. But actually, what made the law to come into place are our internal wounds.
Yep.
We need to reverse
Yeah.
and cut the
Yes.
links.
Yes.
Zola, is there absolutely anything we can do to protect ourselves? This one I'm worried about.
Let me tell you, let me share.
There's no way.
Let me share a story with you guys quickly now.
Yeah.
Of a couple of women I've been seeing in my office lately.
Yeah.
They prominently are firstborn daughters, because obviously when the journey is yours and God wants you to serve it, it just keeps arriving at your door. And these firstborn daughters are fantastic. We are amazing women.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And they enter marriage with their siblings, with the obligations of their siblings. They train their husbands only when it comes to protecting and serving their siblings. But they don't train their husbands how to treat them. Kodwa sikho lapho. They train their husbands how to accept that I am going to be raising my siblings. And then they raise the siblings. The siblings keep coming, they keep passing, they keep coming, they keep passing. And the children of the siblings come into this marriage, and the husband is used to it. It almost becomes the only thing he can tolerate about you, your siblings' children. Everything else, he hates you because, vele, I have been tolerating your siblings and your siblings' children. You can tolerate me hitting you. We are here to tolerate each other. I tolerate your siblings, you will tolerate my abuse
I
of you.
bargain with the siblings.
Now, when they finish these beautiful-hearted firstborn daughters to bring these siblings into their marriage, the husband raises them because they are good men, guys, out there. And then when it is time to do estate planning, and I've been really shouting at them. I even did a video this week on it. I see men complaining as usual about it. And I say to them, you are so accustomed to taking care of everyone else, you're even struggling to do estate planning for your children. There's a woman who said to me, Mtanami, I have 2 girls that my husband and I are currently taking care of that come from my siblings who have passed away. The one has a house, we have made sure. The other one is, but we'll help her get a house. My husband has a child that he came into the marriage with. We want to make sure he has a house. Then she finished And then I said, "How, Mama? And your child?" She said, "Oh, my child is the last born. She's just a child." I'm like, doesn't work like that. Yabona, these houses you're already giving away. You're giving away your daughter's houses.
Yeah.
You think she's not capable to handle wealth? If you, as the womb carrier, are thinking your child is not capable of handling wealth, you are saying it into the universe.
Yeah.
You are minimizing the wealth capacity of your child because you so want to take care of everyone else. On top of that, you even feel guilty to plan for your child. So here's my challenge to you. Akungapheli a week where you have not sat down and you have built your pyramid of assets and you have allocated a majority of them to your own child. If your child chooses to follow in your footsteps and be giving and be Santa, let them do it from what you have built. Don't let your child go start over building their own wealth only to give it away like you.
Yeah.
Because it's a generational thing. It's such a cycle and it's just, it needs to stop in that aspect.
And I guess that's why generational healing is important. Because what you're saying is, if I'm going to steward wealth to a child, it does me no good to give them the wealth and then the trauma. Because then we're working backwards.
Then yes. Healing is so important.
Yeah.
I say it all the time. There is nothing as important as I send my clients to therapy. I'll be honest with you, my clients will come in, most of the time it's couples. I really appreciate people coming together. If it's a family, if you're a firstborn daughter and you really want me to help you sort out your family home issue because an unhealed Rakhadi is a bother of that house. I say,
You are an
her.
adult Rakhadi
I
and
said,
you are a boss.
bring your Rakhadi, bring yourself, you are a mini cooking Rakhadi, you're about to join the other one, bring everyone else and let us actually deal with where the pipe has burst and let's stop wiping the water. Hey! If you are a woman, if you are a firstborn daughter, if you are a woman who has used her womb or plans to use their womb, I already told you, you must have a family trust. You 100% must have a last will and testament. If you are a firstborn daughter, you have no business getting married in communal property.
Yeah.
Why you're hlanganisi estates that you want to spread anyway? You have no business getting married in communal property. However, you must be strategic. We must also not catch on to this out of communal property like it's sweet. It's not a small thing, estate planning and marital regimes. Because it determines how you're exiting this world. Now, you must look at out of communal property with accrual if the man you are marrying is looking like he's going to be doing some good things. Don't walk away from wealth.
Honey, they always look like they're going to be doing some good things.
Don't walk away from wealth. But
They
save
always
your
look
one.
like
Save,
they're
but
gonna do
however,
something.
you are protected because you are out of communal property. He can't touch your estate, nor does his debt affect you.
Yeah.
Your debts also don't affect him, but what you grow together, then you guys will be able to use it to take care of the children you're going to be having in that marriage. But as a firstborn daughter, you must always, whether you have a child or not, understand that you are going to go join a blended family. Because of the luggage you're coming with. You can't be in a blended family and be in communal property. Because what happens is when the parents have died, fights start. And when you fight after a person has died, you can only fight in the high courts. And the cheapest advocate I know, and I've been doing this for 14 years, is 10,000 Rand an hour. So you're going to work your whole life building an estate, not plan for it, only to end up with it being in court, and it serves legal costs.
Sure.
So you must do estate planning as a woman, and you must do estate planning as a firstborn daughter. You simply must. Because what you were while you were living, people fight for after you have died. Don't let that fight happen in your estate.
Sure. That's powerful. And I don't think that we look at it that way. Especially because I'm always trying to link it back to our conversation here. Hore, you've spiritually fortified this family. And then your wounds and your lack of healing come and pull you apart. But nevertheless, you still have a womb that builds the wealth. And then you come and you don't protect it.
Thank you.
Recipe for disaster.
Yeah. Thank you, Puti. Ulokhu ubuya nje. Who's taking care of them?
Who's taking care of us when we take it over everyone else? Keep taking care of us.
Yeah. I was on Vuma FM when I went to Durban 3 weeks ago. I was there to talk about the man who refused to bury his father because his father got a protection order. Basically, he's saying, let that protection order proceed even after you have died. Be protected from me. And a lady called in. In fact, she sent a voice note. Vuma FM gave me the voice note. I'm going to share it with you. She's a firstborn daughter. She was the first voice note. She opened the gates to that discussion. And she said, I share sentiments with this gentleman. But the only difference is that he is crying because his father neglected him.
Yeah.
What are those? Those are warlock wounds or, masculinity, broken masculinity wounds.
Yeah.
She says that the difference is that I have had my mother in my life, but yet I have the same feeling. Why must I bury her when she has passed? And the reason for that is this. I am the only one who has taken care of my mother, helped my mother, been there for my mother, helped her with my siblings as if I'm a co-father.
Sure.
However, when the blessings of what I've been doing for my mother arrived, she felt it's too much blessing for me. She would wish for it to go to my little siblings. Why must she be the one who's wealthy? She wanted to go to the ones who have no plan of helping her.
Yeah.
And she proceeded to live like that. If I had 10 stock suites, she wanted at least half of them to go to my siblings. Why should I keep so much wealth? And she even put it in words and hurt me. My mother, says this lady in the voice notes.
Yeah.
But my ancestors and people told me when she has died, they will only call the firstborn daughter to close her eyes.
Oh, hell no.
And I arrived. She arrived. And she says, with the luck and the blessings from my ancestors, she died.
Okay. Yeah.
And when she died, exactly as they said, I was called. And I closed her eyes and I buried my mother because I am also aware that it is her very same spirit that was abusing me while she was alive that's going to abuse me when she is died.
Sure.
So, the firstborn daughter, unlike the man who went on national TV to say, I'm not going to bury my father.
Did it.
She did it. So many of them keep doing it.
We keep doing it. We swear and swear that we're not going to do it.
But we do it.
And we still do it.
We do it.
And when we come back for the last round, someone I met said to me earlier today, I think it was you, Kwapa. She asked me something and I said to her, I think I've got the answer. And when we come back, I want us to tie this conversation back to where this comes from. And what I would like us to walk away with is a sense of knowledge and understanding of where this thing started. So that we can kill it exactly at that point.